Whoopsie. Hello everybody, Chris Wood here. October 7th, 2022, just hanging out in my room, and I thought I would come on and do a quick update. I just had a message pop up. I thought I would do a quick update to let everybody know and show that this identity theft of mine is finished. So I just want to say, after 3 years of going through this and being injured and numbed constantly 24/7 for 3 years for revenge retaliation through O.P.P, Spencer Mills 14716, Staff Sergeants, Ex-Chief, Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas, Shelley Huffner, and Stacy, a mental health worker, was Kingston, now Daily Tea Company. Congratulations to Joy Hadley, to Dr. Tatiana V, aka Marky V, the file falsifier, the one that gets victims medically blacklisted for her girlfriend Stacy and O.P.P. Also Joy Hadley, Dr. McGregor, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Triage Nurse Terry, Triage Nurse Tanya, Triage Nurse David, Paladin Security, Fat Guy, roughly 500 pounds, approximately 24-25 years old, William Bill Wooldridge, 149 Center Street North, Napanee, Ontario, Hells Angels, and boss co-offender to O.P.P, the ones named, inmate, sex offender, human trafficker, drug trafficker, dangerous offender, pedophile. Blair Hardy, drug trafficker, human trafficker, pedophile, human sex trade, slavery trafficker, financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds with Billy Wooldridge. Tyler Lake, financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, attempted homicide. Javen Allstein, identity thefts and frauds, financial thefts and frauds, human trafficking, drug trafficking, homicides, attempted homicide. Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy are guilty of murdering, stalking, using remote neural monitoring on her given to them from O.P.P. It is police and military tech. It is a microchip implant. They were also using it on my mother as well, stalking her from the EMS and the radiations from it. It caused cancer, causing tumors, causing cancer, causing her death. I spoke that this was happening and what the outcome would be, and it happened. It fell on deaf ears, but it happened. So back in 2020, Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy murdered my mother. You were also guilty of my identity theft for the intent to frame me. I was kidnapped May 27, 2021, 24 hours after asking for help, which was with what is taking place with me now. And that wasn't an attempt to shut me up. That wasn't an attempt to stop me from what I am showing and proving by whom, how, and why. Revenge retaliation for me speaking of police crimes. The human homeless trafficking from the Morning Star mission at the time. And the homeless exploitations. O.P.P are guilty of false arrest. So anybody that's been charged by O.P.P, I would fight it because there's nothing legal about the cops here in Napanee. and I can prove it, they'll even surround you hands on guns to prevent anything on them or their boss or doctors here. Like I said, they will kidnap. They got my blood and my piss. That wasn't an attempt, and that night, that was an attempt to shut me up. They also had me falsely charged with the hospital here for wanting doctors and everybody else telling for phoning and telling what was taking place through whatever it's called at the hospital. I can't even think of the name of it now. Patient relations. So as a result, because of me telling what was taking place with the doctors and wanting them charged and arrested, they co-conspired with O.P.P to have it done to me to deflect the crimes. And that's the only time I've gotten a record. There's been lies against me stating long criminal record in history, long psychological record in history, long drug use history, being suicidal, self-harmer, and none of it is true in any way, shape, or form, and none of these bastards are having to answer for any of it. I've also been sex assaulted, I've been sodomized, I've been laughed in my face over it by doctors, and then they tried to have me committed for it because of it happening by O.P.P. And their boss, Billy Wooldridge, are co-offenders. They're guilty of criminal negligence with intent to commit this identity theft. I've been skull split, I've been seriously brain injured, I get numbed down to be dumbed down, I get drugged on a daily basis, and it's being done to me through remote narrow monitoring. Back in 2019, I was at my previous address. The ex-O.P.P chief went by in a white Jeep Wrangler. He waved at me. When I waved back, a black truck pulled up beside him. They pointed something, they shot it. It went into my right ear. And that is when the problems started, my medical problems and everything else. But prior to that, I had no problems. I hadn't even been to a hospital or a doctor or anybody else in approximately 7 to 10 years. I was doing good. I was mentally healthy. I was spiritually healthy. I was happy. I was meditating. I was doing good. I was working on getting myself healthy mentally, physically, in all ways, and then all this happened because I spoke up and tried to save lives. As a result, they are using O.P.P is using their co-offenders. They're paying them $300 a day. They're giving them their drugs of choice. They're hiding them. They are protecting them, which protects O.P.P. You are guilty of many, many murders, and LENNOX and ADDINGTON, Ontario Hospital is guilty of possibly covering up many crimes and murders specifically for the police name and Spencer Mills alone because he is a serial killer, along with his boyfriend Blair Hardy and their boss Hells Angels Billy Wooldridge of 149 Center Street North. My identity thief. I have prisoner tracking into me. I have prisoner tracking on me. Wooldridges or Hardys, and this is how they are stalking, this is how they are framing, they're illegally putting it onto their victims for such purposes, falsely arresting to get prints, signatures, and to give people victims records to deflect crimes for forgeries, framings, frauds against their victims. All revenge retaliation on me for speaking of police crimes. I get numbed down to be dumbed down by all these different junkies who are co-offenders with O.P.P in hopes that I forget about this, in hopes that I don't talk about this. I've been seriously deformed in many, many ways, shapes, and I've not been able to get any medical help at all because of this bullshit against me. So the doctor's name is, well, you are guilty of murder through your boss, Billy Wooldridge. Shit. Right now I'm being broadcasted through, my skull's been split, my brain's been split, and This is a microchip implant into me. It's in the center of my fucking head where that spot is on the back of my head that I've had ever since I was shot. It will not heal up. It swells up. Obviously my head has gotten flatter while my face is getting deformed. My head goes elongated, shortened, flattened, rounded out, widened, normal. And I'm being broadcasted through right now from Tyler Lake and Jabin Alstein, who are most likely hiding out at Ray Ray's, guy with the white pit bull. So, after 3 years, O.P.P, you did it. This is how they frame, this is how they traffic, and this is how they murder here in Napanee. Unsuspecting lies, time buying, cover-ups, arrest refusals except for on their victims, stalking and using R&M and Clearview AI for illegal purposes. The hospital here exists to cover up crimes for O.P.P, and I will not be proven wrong while they have to prove nothing. So, after 3 years, you got your identity theft, and this is pretty much done. I know I've said that many times, but look how much my fucking skull has been deformed in my face. More and more every single day I'm proving and showing this is happening, and there is nothing I can do about it. So, congratulations, Spencer Mills and the rest of you fucking human trafficking terrorist pieces of shit garbage. This is revenge on me. Using your badges, positions, credentials like the doctors here are to cover each other's asses. So, Chris Wood is dead. You got your murder, you fuck. You murdered my mother, you murdered me, you murdered a bloodline. So you did it, O.P.P. Chris Wood, love all, hate none. Watch yourselves, watch your children. Hit that like, share, subscribe, and share. That helps get this out because this is very serious. This is how they frame, traffic, and murder. I am an identity theft victim for revenge retaliation through remote neuromonitoring. Be safe, everybody. They are terrorists.